Do you think that Chinese people lose points on their social credit score if they infect other Chinese, but gain points if they affect another country? In the past 100 years, we've had three pandemics. The Spanish flu of 1918 had a mortality rate of 20%, but Iran lost 20% of its entire population as they were simultaneously dealing with famine and an opioid crisis. In total, about a third of the world population was infected. Around 50 million people had died. And it only ended really because everyone who had it developed an immunity or passed away. Doctors are still studying this virus to better understand it. The Asian flu of 1957 started in China, which is believed to come from an avian flu strain. It spent 10 years in antigenic drift, that is to say, undergoing random mutation, but luckily it only resulted in an estimated 2 million deaths worldwide. But thanks to all those mutations, it was quickly replaced by the Hong Kong flu of 1968, which mostly killed the elderly. 15% of Hong Kong died, but overall, only 1 million died worldwide. As it was similar enough with the Asian flu that there still existed some immunity from the millions of vaccines. Currently, the Ebola virus is being mostly contained in Central Africa and some small regions of West Africa, where it has between a 50 and 90% mortality rate, but it isn't really spreading outside Africa because it's not airborne. This strain of coronavirus does appear to be airborne, but it appears that some people are carrying it without showing symptoms. It popped up in China, and they initially fucked it up just like they did with the SARS by downplaying its seriousness, which has already led to infections in over a dozen other countries. Online posts are being censored to make it look less bad, such as photos of dead in the streets, or a post that mentioned that 300,000 people left Wuhan before the travel ban began. The worst is perhaps stories that doctors in Wuhan are refusing to test for the virus in those who display symptoms, so the death and infection count are both being lowballed. China limited travel to 35 million people so far. 18 million people in Wuhan are currently fighting for food and water, and a disease expert from Hong Kong said city officials show a jaw-dropping lack of preventative measures. And this is why I always laugh at people when they think China will ever become a world power. Like, they can't even manage their own country. According to official numbers, which already seem to be biased, we have over 1,300 people infected and 41 dead since the beginning of January. Of the dead, 11 are reported to be men and 4 women. And yes, I'm getting word that feminists are campaigning to make sure more women are found among the dead for the sake of equality. The virus was initially misreported to come from a fish market. Actually, the market had all kinds of animals there, because as long as you can make up some shit about its medicinal benefits, the Chinese people are going to eat it. Like this bat soup. And this woman was still eating it after it was determined to be the cause of the virus. Naturally, people in the West find this kind of accusation racist, but these days, that just means it's correct. Not all cultures are equal. Is anyone surprised that the last 4 or so virus scares originated in China? Maybe China's the real virus! Anyway, over the weekend, everyone was traveling for Lunar New Year, so we'll see how much this virus explodes in the following week. While it is entirely possible that China is correct in downplaying the seriousness of the virus, we still know very little. SARS and MERS, which are kinds of coronaviruses, both had quite low infection numbers, but decent mortality rates. 17% of those infected in Hong Kong were killed by SARS, 16% of those infected in South Korea were killed from MERS. And it's possible that this coronavirus will also be short-lived, but not likely if China keeps fucking up. The World Health Organization decided on January 23rd that this is not considered a world emergency. Currently, there are several confirmed cases in Korea, Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, the US, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, Macau, Nepal, Malaysia, Australia, and now France today, with suspected cases in Russia, the UK, and Colombia. Now, if any of you have played Plague Inc., I'm sure you'll know that the low death rate and less aggressive symptoms so far means that there is a lower chance that it'll be addressed aggressively, which means it can spread a lot further without much detection. Fortunately, no one is controlling the disease's mutations to manually produce infection skin lesions. Right? Oh. Oh. Oh.